In this video, we're gonna show you how to upgrade to the Boost Auto Parts 2019 style GM tow mirrors for your 2022 refreshed and newer GM 1500 trucks. Whether you're upgrading your Chevy Silverado or GMC Sierra, these Boost Auto Parts tow mirrors will let your truck stand out from the crowd. With our plug-and-play wiring and factory vehicle integration, you can retain your original features such as power fold and forward-facing spotlight if equipped, as well as add additional features such as turn signal and running light to your tow mirrors. Please note that this install procedure is only applicable to 2022 refreshed and newer trucks. If you're adding power fold or forward-facing spotlight to a vehicle that did not originally have it, please reference a separate Boost Auto Parts video. To check fitment, availability, and to purchase our products, go to boostautoparts.com. Up next, the installation. Your Boost Auto Parts tow mirrors kit comes with 2 GM tow mirrors and all other supplementary items. In this video, we've also used the RZY Harness Kit and the Modified Door Harness Kit to enable lighting features such as running light, turn signal, and cargo light. Both these products can be found at boostautoparts.com. To begin, disconnect the negative battery terminal under the hood. With the battery disconnected, move to the driver's door to begin door panel removal. Use a pick tool to remove the rubber piece here. Then remove the two 7mm bolts. There are 2 more bolts at the bottom of the door panel that you need to remove. With the bolts removed, pry along the edge of the door panel to release the tabs. Pay close attention to the door lock tab so you don't damage it in the process. Disconnect the door release mechanism. Then disconnect the connector on the panel by first freeing the plastic tab holding the harness. Then pull down on the red tab, followed by pulling up on the gray tab. This will allow you to swing open the gray latch, which frees up the connector to be disconnected. You can now move the door panel out of the way and set it aside. Repeat the steps on the passenger side. To replace the mirror, first remove this grommet. Then disconnect the mirror connector by first pulling on the red tab. Then press down on the black tab to pull the connector out. Remove the 4 13mm nuts that's holding the mirror in place. Be sure to support the mirror from the other side. Fully remove your factory small mirror from your truck. Next, unbox your Boost Auto Parts tow mirrors. Guide your brand new Boost Auto Parts tow mirror onto the mount. Supporting the mirror from the other side, install the 4 13mm nuts to secure the mirror in place. Repeat the steps on the passenger side. Now we'll install the RZY harness to enable some of the lighting features on your mirror. To begin, locate the door jamb boot. Use a flathead screwdriver to press down on the latch to release the boot. On the connector, pull back on the red locking tab. Then use a pick to pry up on the white tab to release the connector. Swing down the white latch to fully disconnect the door side connector. By the driver's seat, remove these 2 trim panels. Back in the door jamb, disconnect the cab side connector by squeezing close the 2 metal tabs. Then push the connector in through the hole. Find the harness inside of the cab and pull it out so you have plenty of room to work on it. Next, bring your RZY harness from your kit to the work area. There's a clear driver's side and passenger side to this harness. It can be routed behind the center console and out of the way. The driver's side of the harness has the additional quick disconnects as shown here. Here's a breakdown of the wiring for the RZY harness. If any of these slots are pre-populated on the door jamb connector, you won't use that wire from our kit. You can simply tape it up and out of the way. On the door jamb connector, locate the white pin lock and carefully pry up on it to allow additional pins to be inserted. With the white lock pointing up and looking at the rear of the connector, your pins must be guided in with the grooves on the left side. It's very important that the pins are installed in the correct orientation. First, insert the red and blue wire into slot 16. Use a pick tool to press the pin into position. Insert the white wire into slot 26. Insert the blue wire into slot 30. After all the pins have been inserted, press down on the white lock to secure the pins. Then guide the door jamb connector back to its original position, making sure that the metal tabs click into place. With the driver's side pins done, tape the passenger side pins to a straight metal rod to guide it over to the passenger side. Guide the harness behind the center console. For the passenger side door jamb connector, repeat all the steps shown on the driver's side until the connector is inside the cab. Pay close attention to the wiring as it's different on the passenger side. Go ahead and pry up on the white lock. Then with the grooves on the pin facing left, insert the red and green wire into slot 13. Insert the white wire into slot 26. Finally, insert the blue wire into slot 31. Engage the white lock and guide the connector back into its original position, just like you did on the driver's side. Return to the driver's side and locate the light control module connectors under the dash. Disconnect the pink, green, and blue connectors as shown here by first pulling down on the white tab, then pressing down on the connector tab to fully remove them. On the green connector, tap to slot 4. Looking at the wires with the white tab pointing up, slot 4 is at the top right corner. Tap here using a red T-tap from your kit. Connect the blue wire from the RZY harness to the T-tap at slot 4. On the pink connector, tap to slot 5. Looking at the wires with the white tab pointing up, slot 5 is on the second row from the top, in the first position from the left. Tap here using a red T-tap from your kit. Connect the red and blue wire from the RZY harness to the T-tap at slot 5. Finally, on the blue connector, tap to slots 4 and 7. Looking at the wires with the white tab pointing up, slot 7 is on the second row from the top, in the third position from the left, and slot 4 is at the top right of the connector. Next, connect the white wire from the RZY harness to the T-tap at slot 4, and the red and green wire to the T-tap at slot 7. All three connectors can now be reconnected to the light control module. Secure the harness out of the way of any pedals and tuck any excess wiring under the carpet. Install the 2 trim pieces you had previously removed to complete your RZY harness installation. Now we'll install the modified door harness to enable some of the lighting features on your tow mirrors. Begin by removing the 7mm bolt on the speaker. Then guide the speaker out. Disconnect the plastic tab, then disconnect the speaker connector by releasing the red tab, then pressing down on the black tab and pulling out the connector. Disconnect these 4 clips on the door. The gray ones have tabs that need to be depressed first before guiding the clip in. After this, guide the door jamb connector through the door and out the speaker hole. Release the trim clip here. Then press in the grommet to guide the connector into the door. Guide the mirror connector through the door cavity and out through the speaker hole. We performed this next section of the install on a bench to show clearly how the Modify harness connects to the vehicle. The time-lapse of these steps on the vehicle is also provided to show broadly what the steps look like in context. Please note that the steps for the passenger side are identical to the driver's side with the exception of pin locations. On the driver's side, insert the pins from the Modify harness onto the door jamb connectors. The grooves on the pins should face right. Please reference the diagram on the screen to find slot locations. Locate the white pin lock and carefully pry up on it to allow additional pins to be inserted. Depress the pin on the red and blue wire to pin 16. Use a pick tool to press the pin into position. The white wire will go to pin 26. The blue wire will go to pin 30. Pin locations are different on passenger side. The red and blue wire will go to pin 13. The white wire will go to pin 26. And the blue wire will go to pin 31. Press the pin lock in to secure the harness on the connector. Guide the Modify harness to the mirror connector. Use a straight metal rod to pass it through the door jamb boot. With the Modify harness out the other end of the boot, you can secure all the wires at the connector using electrical tape and zip tie. Guide the harness all the way to the mirror connector, taping it up as you go. Be sure to tape the harness on the opposite side of the plastic clips, so they don't get pinched when the clips are engaged. At the mirror connector, note that there are different wiring configurations depending on what features were available to your truck from factory. To our advantage, the wiring is the same on both driver's side and passenger side. On the mirror connector, use a flathead screwdriver to pry on the white locking tab to allow additional pins to be inserted. Insert the pin of the red and blue wire to slot 8 with the grooves of the pin facing down. With the red locking tab on top, slot 8 is on the second row from the top in the second spot from the left. Connect the white wire to slot 16. This is on the bottom row, fourth from the left. Finally, if slot 13 is empty, insert the blue wire here. Slot 13 is at the bottom left of the connector. With the blue wire inserted, you can skip ahead to the next section where we take the wires back to the mirror connector. However, if there is a wire already present in slot 13, cut the wire approximately 2 inches from the pin and remove some of the insulation on the connector end of the wire. Cut the blue wire on the Modify harness back approximately 2 inches from the pin and set the pin end to the side. Strip some of the insulation from the other end, then connect the blue wire to the existing wire at slot 13 using the provided butt connector from your kit. Next, locate slot 5. Your next steps are going to vary depending on if there's a wire present or not. If slot 5 is empty, insert the pin that was previously cut from the blue wire of the Modify harness here and strip back some of the insulation. Connect this to the wire that was originally at pin 13 using the provided butt connector in your kit. You may, however, have slot 5 already occupied. In this case, cut back about 2 inches from the pin, strip back some of the insulation, and connect the wire that was previously at 13 here using a butt connector. Tape the other end of the wire that was at pin 5 out of the way. Tape all the wires to the mirror connector, then guide the remainder of the RZY harness under the insulation by the connector. Re-engage the connector lock. Once the installation of the RZY harness is complete, first guide the door connector harness into place. Make sure to secure the grommet. Then guide the mirror connector up through the door cavity. Don't forget to engage the gray clips connected to the mirror harness. Finally, guide the door jamb connector to its original position. Re-engage the black clips attached to this harness. With that done, reconnect the speaker and secure it in place using the 7mm bolt. Reconnect the door jamb connector by guiding the door side harness to the cab side connector. With the connector in position, slide the white latch up. Press in the red tab to lock the white latch in place. Then, with the bottom of the grommet slid in, slide the tab at the top of the grommet in place. To begin door panel reassembly, bring the door panel back to the door and reconnect the door connector and the door release cable. Carefully guide the door lock tab in place, making sure the door panel is sitting properly. Then press along the border of the door panel to engage all the door tabs. Install the two 7mm bolts, then place the rubber piece. Then finally install the two 7mm bolts at the bottom of the door panel. Repeat the steps on the passenger side. Finally, with all the steps completed, reconnect the battery. Thank you for watching this tutorial. Boost Auto Parts 2019 style GM tow mirrors can be purchased on our website at boostautoparts.com. Boost Auto Parts also offers a wide range of parts and accessories for your truck or SUV. To stay up to date on new product releases and more videos like this, subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's all for now. Catch you in the next one.